Okay, we're on GCN. If you haven't subscribed to GCN, go subscribe to GCN. They've got some cool cycling tips videos in terms of how to fix your bike. That's GCN's forte, all right, is how to fix your bike. This video, I haven't seen it yet. Let's watch it. I'm going to get triggered. I know I am, because it's going to be a big Canyon advert. Let's go in here. Let's go in.
I was having a conversation the other day about how World Tour cyclists are going faster than ever.
It ain't the bikes. It's the drugs are better than ever before. The training methods, the power data, the increase of sugar intake. Yes. From all the impact I've had with that, all the Pro Tour riders, World Tour riders, I should say, who have contacted me over the last 2014, 2015 was, I think, the first time a well-known World Tour rider asked for a selfie with me in Tour Down Under. Was it 2013 or 2015? One of those years. So, and I'd chat to them. They're like, you'd be surprised how many people watch your content, Harley. Like, you have a huge following, especially in Denmark, etc., etc. Don't want to give any names away, but yeah, and you see it. You see with Pogacar how much sugar he consumes. All right, his coach, one of his coaches there, like, it's the sugar intake is, listen to the podcast with Victor Campenaerts. Like, it's just the sugar intake's higher than ever before. So the performance, because it's more cutthroat than ever before. Like back in the day, you could turn up 2 down to the fat, and now you got to turn up to 2 down to very lean. So the drive for points is higher, the nutrition, the carbohydrate intake's better, the fat intake's lower. The bikes are slower though. The bikes are slower, but the drive to be on the front and get social media time and media time is very important. So the racing's more aggressive than ever before. How many riders wanted to take, some drugs? It's pro cycling. It's pro sport. You're paid to win. You ain't paid to be clean. Anyway, let's go in. You're paid to not get caught, and you're paid to win. Simple as that. Let's get into the video.
As you do. And the World Tour coach that I was chatting to, humble brag alert, said most of it is down to the bikes.
So here's the thing with GCN. GCN get clout because they have money behind them, and they can go into these races with media passes, etc. I have clout with World Tour riders because of the results I help World Tour riders get. All right. I don't drop names because I also talk openly about PED usage, and no one with half a brain cell would want to be publicly, associated with me and be in the World Tour team. That's just like being friends with Dr. Ferrari almost. So, so GCN's clout to me doesn't mean anything. And I think GCN's great for cycling, don't get me wrong. My favourite videos that GCN did was with John Cannings in Japan, or when John Cannings would go and review all his old bikes. That was really cool. Bring back JC.
What? All this talk about Pogacar and Van Vleuten and Van Aert and Van der Poel being the best ever, but actually maybe it's all about the bike?
It's all about that. You know what I mean? It's just how it is, man. It's not the fucking bike. Because everyone else in the peloton's on the same bike, okay? But not everyone's willing to risk it doing certain things.
Well, yeah, maybe. A lot has happened in the last 10 years, and a teeny tiny bit of that was GCN starting.
Subscribe now and your life will become complete.
An anniversary that got me feeling all nostalgic. And it just so happens that tucked away in a corner of my loft, I have the bike that I rode when GCN first started. A red...
Do you remember, Si, that I messaged you about the bottom bracket crack in this bike?
Specialised S-Works tarmac.
There we go. Here it is. There it is. There's the crack. Look at that. That is the crack. It's probably just a paint crack, but some of these did open up. So I'm not sure if Si got that fixed, but I remember me and Si had a bit of a correspondence there. There is your crack in the BB there. Again, there's only a few people in the world whose their cracked BB on their SL3 BSA actually opened right up, and it was a problem, and it started to actually shift. But most of the time, it's just going to be cosmetic. So don't fear if you have a crack in your BB like this. Don't fear.
Tarmac SL3 with 11-speed Campagnolo chorus.
Nice bike.
So let's rewind 10 years and see just what the difference is.
Oh, what is this? It's like a freaking mountain bike.
Have bikes really moved on that much? How much faster are they?
I spied with my little eye something beginning with F.
13-speed cassette on there. The cassette...
Even the advert just in that Freddo Frog advert. Like, what mum and kid walking around the garden with a fucking magnifying glass, and the kid's like, I spot something with F. Like, is this marketing for parents, for mums, who are triggered by their thoughts and emotions? Same with the people who watch these GCN adverts for these heavyweight, overpriced, insanely hard to work on road disc brake bikes. Like, just people who are just not thinking. They're just following the trends. Oh, everyone's on road disc. I'll buy one. How much is it? $20,000. I got a credit card. I'll get in debt for that. I'll sell my SL3 that's 6.2 kilos for a 7.2 kilo with pedals SL7 that cost me 20 grand. And it's a total nightmare to work on. I'll do that because everyone else is doing it.
Set is bigger, you still have a higher top gear than you would have on a traditional cassette.
Heaviest SRAM red group set ever with the SRAM access disc. Crazy. Hookless. Here we go. Hookless fucking road. You must love your dentist, guys.
Particularly terrible roads and off-road, the bigger the potential savings you can make. And just
look at that. Look at that. This is replay. We're getting off topic already. Look at this.
Off-road, the bigger.
Look, here we go.
The potential savings.
Boom. See that rock just there? This is a zip. Looks like a zip hookless rim. Do you know how thin those rim edges are? They crack so easy on little rocks like this. If you pinch sort of pinch flat it. No. Go on to the pinch flats, because this is tubeless road. Now you've got pinch cracks. I'd rather have a pinched flat, fix my $5 tube, than get a pinch crack and send my zip back to Zip Australia or wherever. They go, oh, sorry, mate. Just riding along. Nah, mate. No worries. I got a zip hub sitting there. Natasha was riding her zip wheel, right, that I bought brand new on a giant Defy Advanced SL. The hub shell cracked and spat spokes everywhere. So I just sort of like adjusted, wobble at home, and we got, you know what I mean? Like, I sent back to Zip Australia, like, nah, sorry, mate, just riding along, nah, no warranty. We'll give us $100 or $200. We'll put your hub in there. So fucking hell, still sitting there cracked, Shit quality, shit service. If you've had a better experience than I have, I'm happy for you.
And just take a look at this. No inner tube, no tyre levers. That's like the third time I've done it, and I'm still utterly flabbergasted.
Yeah, that's really going to hold on quite well when you get a massive air leak and going around the corner. If it goes on that easy, it's going to come off easy when you go around the corner.
And today it's very exciting.
That's a nice bike. Look at this, guys. What's with the stem penis? It's unsafe. You're cracking these steerers easily.
Because for the very first time, SRAM's new Red ETAP wireless shifter. The new SRAM Red ETAP HRD, which combines wireless...
Was it... the big recall on the SRAM Red brakes, remember that? The hydro fuck-ups?
Electronic shifting with hydraulic disc brakes.
Oh, this is SRAM's new 1x, Force 1. Looks alright.
That was alright.
This is a bike where you can...
Monstrosity, alright? The colour looks alright, but man, look at all those spokes, man. It looks like one of those freestyle, hipster, what do you call them? The lowrider dragsters type wheels you get in freaking South Central LA, all the spokes there. What next will we doing? Imagine if all those spokes were silver, polished silver. You know, like how they do it purposely black so the spokes are a bit more invisible. There's too many spokes, it's not aero.
Genuinely feel the difference to your speed.
You can feel the difference. I can feel the difference riding aero disc brake bikes. They feel slower than aero rim brake bikes because all those spokes catch the wind.
The only issue is that I've got to get it.
Simon looks like he's aged. It looks like he's aged half a day in 10 years.
Out of my loft.
He's definitely not using any anabolics.
One of my least favourite places on the planet. The mere thought of getting my Christmas decorations out is enough to put me in a bad mood for most of December.
Get rid of Christmas decorations. So I don't have any Christmas decorations. I've never owned Christmas decorations in my life. There's enough at the supermarket. When it's Christmas, the supermarket has a Christmas tree out. I go to the supermarket when I watch a Christmas tree.
I don't even know what all this stuff is. It's just up here. But there you go. Can you see it? just underneath the radio.
That is a crime, all right? One of the best bikes ever made, sitting in the fucking loft with no wheels in it, all right? Getting this daddy longlegs spiders having sex on your bike, all right? Would you be okay if you're riding it, but you're not? Get it out of the dust. Get it right. Get it on the road, bro.
Radiator behind the camping mat. There it is. No longer red. Should be a striking difference in the last 10 years. That's actually because the red one developed a crack around the bottom bracket. Threaded, not press fit.
Hey, where's the shed outside? I'm pointing that out to you.
So pipe down, you in the comments. But anyway, I got a warranty version, and I didn't like the colour. I didn't fancy having rainbow stripes on my bike, so I got it resprayed. And there
Oh my god, what a pansy.
it is. Cool. Right then, just give me...
Got your warranty on your bike, so I didn't give me a bloody shout out, mate. Where's the gratitude?
I don't know, 6.5 hours, and I reckon I'll have it out.
It's like being at the bottom of the sea in a submarine. Oh my goodness, we've just discovered Campagnolo Chorus from 2012 underneath a radiator.
Ta-da! One quick tyre change later, and having dusted off most of the cobwebs, here it is, the bike that I used to ride when GCN first started. Now, I should say, I never actually bought this bike. This was given to me by the last team that I raced for before I retired.
And he's still got warranty on it. What a legend.
Now, no giving me grief about racing on Chorus like you used to in the comments section, all right? This was my spare bike. And actually, I've got to say, this is one of the most beautiful group sets of all time, in my opinion. Now, clearly, the bike is not quite top of the range, or it wasn't back then, so perhaps it's not entirely fair to directly compare.
What do you mean it's not top of the range? It's a fucking killer bike, man. It's a killer bike.
it.
And those wheels in clincher format were used in the Tour de France. I think by FDJ.
It to my new Canyon Air Road CFR, but we will do, and actually what this absolutely will do as well, is provide a fantastic illustration of the major changes over the last decade, because my word, there have been a lot. Super aero frame, just 915 grams.
Yeah, and bolt your fucking disc brakes onto it, and I hope he weighs both these bikes.
Not a hint of aero anywhere, but only 875 grams for the frame. Completely internal routing, external cables,
Easy to work on.
hydraulic disc brakes,
And a shitload of spokes. Look at all those spokes, man. That is drag. That is aero drag. Fuck, man.
rim brakes. Yes, I can already hear a few of you diehards lusting after this bike in the comment section. You are, aren't you? Admit it. 12-speed wireless electronic.
It's the crappiest group set ever. I had my group set. I didn't even put it on a bike. I sold it because someone offered me a price I couldn't resist. Okay. Drops the chain off the front. Chain ring's too easy. It's the heaviest group set since 7400. All right. It's fucking crazy, man. 7700 is a lighter group set than the latest one. It's a joke.
11-speed mechanical. Press fit bottom bracket, threaded bottom bracket. Room for 32mm tyres. Clearance for
And like, you know what I mean? Like, aero bike with 32mm tyres. What the fuck?
25mm
That's not, 32mm tyre is not aero, I'm sorry. It is not.
tyres. 11 to 30 cassette, 1125.
Yeah, so you can put a bigger cassette on there.
Then yes, that is a SRAM cassette, because I couldn't bother to change the free hub over. But what does that stuff actually mean? I mean, does this feel any different to ride? Will it go any slower? And does that actually matter? Well, before we find out, I need to go get this ready.
And we're going to weigh the bikes. He's running GP4000s, that's a good idea, but the tyres are quite old. Might be too bad.
Nothing to bleed, no sealant to top up.
Fuck, it looks cold in the UK, doesn't it?
10 years. I mean, to be fair, it was immaculately looked after, as you well know. And then spray WD-40 on your chain and cassette and give them a bit of a spin.
Don't do that. That's the worst thing for your bearings. WD-40 acts like a bit of a degreaser. Just use water. Just use squirt lube. Alright, or wax your chain. You'll be good to go. Look at these NPC adverts. Just chase people's feelings. KFC, here we go. KFC, mate. Get that obesity in you. Treat the fam to fried gold. Treat the fam to heart disease early in life. GCN, let me just pause it for a second here. Let me pause it. Wait a sec. It's like, what GCN, what the fuck are you guys doing promoting this Men in Black, right? Okay? What's this Men in Black shit? Now, this Men in Black shit was started by Vinokurov, who I'm a fan of. Alexander Vinokurov, who would dress in black and be Men in Black to pass doping control when he's in Tenerife and no one knew where he was and people couldn't recognize him. He's just wearing some black Assos kit, blah, blah, blah. And then, some barristers and lawyers and Rafa came out, and then Adidas sponsored Team Sky and the black kit came out. This shit's so fucking dangerous, man. How the fuck is a car going to see us if the sun's in the eyes of the car driver and it's just a black silhouette on a black road? It's like, what are we doing? Let's run some neon, man. Let's run some black if you want, but let's run some neon sleeves here. All right, let's run some neon leg warmers or some neon gloves or some neon socks or a neon fucking helmet. You know what I mean? How long is it going to take before a GCN rider gets cleaned up? Because they're so camouflaged. I guess they got a car following them, or a motorbike next to them, so they're a bit more visible. But you know what I mean? It's just, this has got to stop, man. This full black Men in Black kit. It's a fucking safety hazard, man. It's a safety hazard. Ever since Mike Hall died, I remember the night before, a few nights before Mike Hall, got hit by a car driver. I remember looking at Mike and I was thinking, he's just wearing navy and black. He's so camouflaged. Yeah, he's got lights on, but it's it's just, that changed my whole reality. All right, my whole safety awareness. So rest in peace, Mike Hall.
Personal note is the fact that my position on this bike is unchanged basically since my last day when I was racing as a pro. So it's like my own personal museum piece. Of course, I have been fighting off lucrative offers from actual museums wanting to secure this piece of history, but I'm turning them down. Anyway, it still fits like a...
Do you know who the person was who told these guys to make jokes about themselves? And they did it almost within 2 days. I say, guys, just make jokes about yourself and blah blah blah. And within 2 days, they were cranking on the comedy, which is good.
Glove.
I'll see if I can dig up the email somewhere.
The saddle position is a bit further back. I've definitely moved further forward and lower on my new bikes, and also the crank length.
Here we go, further forward and lower, aka more power and more aero. So I hope these bikes measured up the same on test day.
So everyone of my height was riding 175mm cranks, and I've now gone to 172.5, and as you well know if you've been paying attention, I've been recommended to go even shorter still.
Which will change your hip angle, which will make you more aero if you have a shorter crank. Marginal gains aero.
The other thing that's cool is just how similarly the bike handles, how nimble and how responsive it is. And I did check actually.
These tarmac rim brakes with a set of Seriums, they're fucking awesome bikes, man. You slam that seat forward, these tarmacs rim brakes, fucking awesome bikes.
On geometrygeeks.bike, my joint favourite website, along with bicyclerollingresistance.com for ultimate nerdery. Anyway, someone has amazingly uploaded the geometry of this very model and year of bike, so I was able to compare it directly to my new ones, and it's basically the same. It's hardly changed at all, apart from my Canyon and my Orbea are both lower at the front for that new, more aggressive position. But it's cool, it means that race bikes still feel like race bikes. We obviously nailed that years ago. Does it feel as stiff as my modern bikes?
Yes, it's stiffer.
No, it does not. Like,
Fuck off, man.
really good still, but just not quite as pin sharp. Maybe that's what 10 years in a loft does for you.
That's called an old chain versus a new chain. Right? When you put a new chain on your bike, it feels like this Canyon is going to ride. That chain's going to be almost brand new. How old is this chain on this bike that's over 10 years old? You know, did he just replace before it went into storage? Probably not. Who replaces a chain and then puts a bike in storage? You know, so if the drive chain's sloppy and the chain is worn, the bike won't feel as like boom. Right? Whenever you get a new chain on the bike feels tighter under acceleration.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, two other things. On these aluminium wheels, in these dry conditions, the rim brakes, of course, feel absolutely great. And then the other thing is this mechanical shifting. This era of Campagnolo was the loudest clicker ever. Amazing. No stealth attacks. Everyone knew what you're about to do. But it's really cool. It could do with a bit of a
So they got an e-bike next to him. You hear the e-bike zooming along. That's a nice little road, isn't it? It's like Aldgate Rally Road in Adelaide.
tune up, I'm not gonna lie. But it's great. Wow, so far so good, and it's no big surprise, is it? A 10-year-old bike that was super expensive is of course still going to be amazing, and for many of you,
yes,
it's about to get even better.
Bullshit. This is stinks like Canyon road disc propaganda, and we're not gonna tolerate it. Look at this shit. Look how they're hyping it up now. Like, yeah, come on, man. Narcissism, Veblen goods, CFR. How come the epic, tarmac ride didn't get this level of special editing?
Everything on my Canyon is concealed or integrated. I mean,
look at this fucking advert shit, man. Fucking hell. We just watched the KSC advert, now watching the Canyon advert.
it looks like a work of art sat there, or a stealth fighter.
It does look like a stealth fighter, but it ain't. The only thing it's fighting is gravity, man. And the only thing it's fighting is fucking wind resistance. It's not going. It's not. You know. It's not slipping through the wind that easy.
Absolutely love it. On my older bike, though, aesthetically, it's much more functional. Everything is exposed. The cables. I've got a two-piece bar and stem with all.
If you're wondering why I'm yawning, it's past midnight here, but I've got to get this video done.
All the bolts. I've got my brake cables and my gear cables exposed on the frame there. And as I mentioned,
exposed. Easy to work on, man. These bikes are a fucking dream to work on. I can literally strip and build this SL3 tarmac BSA up. Literally, I could blindfold myself and just build it and strip it and build it and strip it. All right. The Canyon? Fuck, man. No way. That's why all the pro teams now have double the mechanics this year than normal.
Earlier, I've got a threaded bottom bracket as well. So aesthetically, it's nowhere near as clean. However, there is no part of this bike that I can't service. Technically, the same is true on my Canyon.
No, it's not.
But the reality is that I still have to watch YouTube videos when I want to bleed my disc brakes. They don't go wrong, so it's a job I do very rarely.
Bullshit. I just watched Tour Down Under, man. Anyone who had access to the tour village, which is pretty much anyone and everyone after 4 p.m, saw all the mechanics faffing around with road disc every single day.
And the internal cable routing on this bike does not require a degree in engineering, but not all modern bikes have been created equally. So we have definitely sacrificed a degree of ease and serviceability on the altar of performance and aesthetics.
Aesthetics, yeah, that does look cool until I see disc brakes on it, and then it's like, what are we doing here? But yeah, it's, again, Canyon advert. Look how favourable he is when he talks about the Canyon.
Now I'm back
I just look at these bikes and I just think it fucking disc brakes on a road bike. Like, what the fuck, man?
on my Canyon. Can I tell the difference? Oh my God, yes. The difference is like night and day. This one feels like it's got an engine.
The difference is the paycheck you get inside, the bonuses.
And you might not believe me that I can feel the difference, but when you add up the differences...
And looks like you're going down the hill, all right, before you're going uphill. Oh, I wonder if that's only a little camera trick there. And admittedly, your front end is lower and your seat is more forward. So you're in a lower, more forward over the bottom bracket, more powerful position. So yeah, that's going to feel better. And you're going downhill, drafting a motorbike or whatever you're drafting. Of course, it's going to feel fucking faster, man.
Aero frame, aero wheels, aero handlebars, integrated cables, reducing turbulence, modern tyres,
Look at that fucking massive gap there, man. How the fuck is that aero? All that wind's hitting that down tube. Look at that. Look at that gap, man. Man, Dingo could stick his fucking banana through that gap. It's so big. What the fuck is that? It just looks out of proportion if we're talking aesthetics and aerodynamics.
modern electronic gears, it all adds up. Now, how much it adds up to, well, that is the $1 million question. And to answer it...
That's the $1 million budget that Canyon gives GCN every year. I should say, the €1 million budget.
I need to put a bit of effort in. Climb next. My Wahoo has just informed me that it's actually called the Hlandogo Leg Shredder. So that sounds nice. Right. Beep, 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 beep.
So let me just pause this for a second. I'm going to drive a point home. I was about to say, in a few years' time, we'll look back and think what we're thinking, road discs, all these spokes.
Beep,
but this,
beep, 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 beep.
Like, look how camouflaged this dude is. You know what I mean? Look how camo he is, man. Alright? Look at this. He's dressed up like a SWAT officer. Put a bit of sun on his back. His black becomes like dark olive green. It blends in. Alright? Come on, GCN. Let's do some safety example, please. The editing's great, but the content on this video... So look at this. Look at this darkness, man. All right, where is the color? Where is the visibility? Look how forward he is and how low he is, man, on this bike compared to that tarmac. Cat bro. So it looks like he went full gas, but based on his breathing, unless he's putting it on, but I'd say he's not putting it on. It looks like he's went full gas in that one.
Such a good climb. Definitely a lung shredder, not a leg shredder. Lung blaster. Lung. The lung obliterator. No, I need to think about that. Run number 2.
Oh, so now you're going to do it on fatigued legs and fatigued lungs. Yeah, okay. All right. With no power meter. Okay.
Beep, 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 beep.
So look at how high up his position is, and look how far back his fucking seat is. Alright? That is a shit position compared to what his Canyon had. Alright? Look at that. Look how high his bars are. It's not aero. And that's not going to feel powerful either. Hey, what pedals is he using? I can't see any power meter here. They don't look like power meter pedals, do they? They just look like some Shimano pedals. Anyone? They're not. Are they power meter pedals? It doesn't look like it. So no power in this test. If there's no power meter on this test is fucking bullshit.
Different ballgame, that. I think that's why I might be feeling faster as I'm hitting 40 as I was when I just turned 30.
Still looks 30.
Jerome picked up a bargain blender and juiced more than he expected. And Julio bought cheap car insurance with cheap accident repair. When it comes to the importance...
So what can I tell you then from 25 minutes of hard intervals? Well, on the climb...
Well, you can tell. Look how slammed that seat is. All right? That seat is slammed forward. This seat's... it's got a 20mm offset seat pro, so it's not as slammed forward. This front end is lower. Like if you look at where the bars are compared to the Specialized, and the Specialized, as Nick Lewis pointed out in his video, it is facing away from the camera. So the bars are lower on the Canyon. So your rider position is fucking huge, man. Rider position is huge. What pedals we got here? Zoom in. Okay, so it looks like some look pedals, is it? It just looks like some look pedals. So there's maybe a power meter in that Durace 92 FC 9200, but where's the power meter on this bad boy? All right, so this test.
My Canyon Aeros did a time of 5 minutes and 41 seconds, and my older bike posted a time of 6 minutes and.
Oh, fuck off, man! All right, you did the test. You know, you're not even in like race condition, which is fair enough. So that means you're going to be producing less power on the second load. All right, there's no way that you're gonna do a 6 minute climb full gas. All right, and then be able to replicate that again. Okay, unless you're like really in some really good shape. Okay, so it's not how it works. All right, it's not how it works. Okay, so you're going to lose time on the second run. Why didn't you do the Specialized on the second run, Si? We know why, because the times would have been different. Why didn't you put some power meter pedals, swap them over to the bike, okay? Why didn't we do that? Why didn't you just put your Durace crank into your BSA SRAM with your power meter there? Why? Because we don't want to have some accurate data, do we? Canyon ain't paying for accurate data, is that right?
1 second, so 20 seconds slower. And on the flat, it was a similar picture. Canyon Aero, 6 minutes and 17 seconds. This bike did it in 6...
Oh, fuck off, man. You guys got the wrong font. Anyway, that's something I'd do. But it's like, on a perceived effort, man. It's so bullshit. Imagine if I did this test. Oh, doing right, where's the power meter data?
6 minutes and 41 seconds. Now, 23 seconds difference might not sound like a huge amount.
That's a huge amount.
But that's 3 kilometers per hour for the same level of effort, which, to my mind, is a significant amount.
How are you doing the same effort? How are you quantifying how much watts you're doing on the tarmac? And the tarmac has a different position. Looks like it's even got wider bars than the Canyon. All right. So your position is less aero on the tarmac, and our rider position accounts for most of the power losses or power gains.
Does that mean then that my older bike is total crap? No, absolutely not does it mean that in any way. I mean, a lot of us are riding bikes exactly like this right now, and we will know full well that they are great. And of those of us that are fortunate enough to be riding newer bikes like this one, a lot of us were riding bikes exactly like this 2, 3, 4 years.
Fortunate to riding an aero road disc brake with rubbing rotors and a fucking headset that's a pain in the ass to fix or even clean. The cool thing about this video, though, the one positive of this video is when I go out in the weekend and go past riders with disc brakes, they'll be like, wow, there's that vegan guy and he's on rim brakes. And rim brakes are slower because that's what GCN said. And wow, he must be a really good rider, you know what I mean? Because rim brakes are slower. So in a way, I like it that disc brakes have become a trend, because there's people who buy a road disc and thinking, oh, road disc's fast, and I come along on my 10-year-old Specialized and blow doors off, and they think, wow, Harley must be an extra good rider because his bike's a lot slower. When in actual fact, my bike's actually fast because it's lighter. It's got less spokes, it's more aero.
Years ago, and I don't think we love the sport any more now because of our disc brakes or our electronic gears or our aero frames that look like something out of Batman's garage, quite frankly. So does it mean then that the last decade of innovation is meaningless? Nope, I don't.
This is not innovation, man. This is like fat bankers going, hang on, how much does a carbon road bike sell? Made in China? How much does it sell in the US? I want money on that. Wait, get Mike Signon on the phone.
I don't think it means that either. I mean, we started with talking about pro racing. Anyone who's watched pro racing on GCN Plus in the last couple of years will know that we are in a truly blessed era of spectacular races.
That's true. The competition is very, very high, and the talent's even crazier.
Some of which I'm sure is down to technology. And what about general
blood technology, hormone technology?
Riding then?
Because it's not bike technology, because everyone's on the same crappy disc brake bikes now, so, you know what I mean?
Well, again, no, I don't think it's pointless. You could argue that some of it is unnecessary in the sense that we don't actually need it, but then you could argue about that with a lot of modern technology that promises to make our lives easier or more fulfilled. You can certainly do without a lot of it. And it's a little bit like that with bikes, isn't it? Modern technology has not changed the fundamentals of the sport. And that's a really good thing, because the sport has always been fantastic. To my mind, the easiest analogy to draw is perhaps to cars. An older car still gets you to your destination, and probably at exactly the same time. But a modern car, the journey there is perhaps just slightly more enjoyable. But I think the analogy that I like best is to a kitchen knife. Bear with me, okay? You can make an amazing tasting meal with any old knife. But if you are cooking with a razor sharp, incredible kitchen knife, then every slice, every cut, every chop just feels that little bit more pleasurable. And to a certain extent, that's what it's like with a modern bike.
Fuck off, Si. You're talking absolute bullshit now, bro. Oh, let me hear you out.
Shift, every brake, every sprint, every climb just feels fractionally even better than it did on the older bike. So, modern bikes are like kitchen knives. You heard it here first.
All right, this is some serious bullshit, man. Like he's saying, and then it's in the end, it's marginally, fractionally better. These new bikes. Okay, this new bike would feel better because it's got a brand new chain cassette on it. How old is this chainring cassette and chain? You know what I mean? It looked a bit manky. That's not going to feel as good. This looks almost like a brand new chain cassette chain rings. Of course it's going to feel better. These tyres are brand new. These tyres are probably almost 10 years old. Okay? They're going to feel a little bit, you know what I mean? And this position is higher. It's not going to feel as aggressive as this. Okay? So this test is not, in my opinion, is not valid. It's definitely a personal opinion from someone who works for Canyon, who's paid by Canyon to make sure Canyon is, well received on social media. And that's marketing. GCN's a marketing agency. Get it? Understand that. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate it at all, actually. Better to be a part of the game, but be the honest part. So yeah, it's interesting, but hands down, I'd prefer this tarmac. I've ridden both these bikes. So I've ridden this bike with the 11 speed, so same disc brake. It felt like a bucket of shit. It's just sluggish. You have seat post problems. They're just overpriced. You get a bike like this for about $1,000 USD. It's got to blow doors off. This bike's faster. This bike's lighter. Notice how they didn't weigh the bikes. GCN, they've put up more videos about bike weights than probably I have. They didn't weigh the bikes. GCN, why didn't you weigh the bikes? And they probably might do that next video. And they'll put a couple of fishing sinkers, a couple of lead sinkers down the seat tube of the old SL3. So, a durianrider said we should weigh the bikes. And hey, durianrider, what do you say about this? I'll be like, x-ray the bike. Show us all the lead weights you put in that SL3. Anyway, that's my comments and criticisms. I wish I'm glad for GCN's success. I wish they'd promote more safety colorways. I wish these riders like Cy and stuff would stop shilling these crappy seat post design, flawed, overly stupidly expensive, less aero, more fangled dangled road disc that rubs, and every time you put the wheel in you got to recenter the caliper. It's just a nightmare. This 12-speed Durace is shit. It's heavy. I mean, it shifts nice when it shifts, but the front chains, they drop a lot. It's just they haven't perfected it. So he's basically paying, $5,000-$6,000 AUD to be a beta tester for Shimano. I don't think that's fair. I think that's bullshit. Anyway, that's my comments and criticisms. Subscribe to GCN. Watch their bicycle tech videos where they show you how to tune your gears, fix a flat tire. That's what GCN for me is my favorite content, along with the John Canning's era where he was going to bike shops around the world and looking up classic stuff. That's my comments and criticisms. I'm just here to help Cy with his bottom bracket warranty 10 years ago, and I still help people today. Love it.